Well, hi, Pearl. How you feeling? She's getting her little fuzzy feathers back. Dan with Fowl Play on the Sunny Slope Funny Farm. So I'll probably post back-to-back videos, which I typically don't do. But I have a moment here this evening as we're going to put some birds to bed. There's Big Hoss. And as you heard in the last video, all the other roosters are gone. And it hurt my heart so much to have to process and essentially take some birds away that are kind of my pals, you know, especially Patrick, who is Sophie's little chickie boy. Patrick suffered with a lot of health problems too that I think he inherited from Soph. And I think he probably had congestive heart failure too, honestly. He had that big swollen red bottom, kind of like Sophie did. And he always had this eye infection, and we were always cleaning his eyes and trying to clean him up, and he had lots of infections in his feet. And so Big Hoss is our one rooster that we have. But things are a lot quieter out here on the Sunny Slope Funny Farm. I can tell you that. So the other thing I wanted to show you, and I'll take a moment. We have a broody mama. Now we've talked about broody hens before, and now Dixie, where's Dix? I wonder if I can find her. Now Dixie, she's at the watering hole right there. And I don't have my contacts in, so I think she's the one. She's on the left there, I think. But I can't tell. But no, that's not Dix. Penny otherwise. But anyway, Dixie said early spring. Let's just leave it at that. Hi, Ducky Ducks. Hi, Duct Tape. We have a broody hen. And so this is a kind of a terrible time of year to have a hen that's broody. I'm walking through the gate right now, so kind of hang in there with me, kids. Going into the chicken yard, and the girls are ready to go for a run. Nina and Boo have been excellent livestock guardian dogs. And I was going to say too, in the little video that I did with the boys fighting, you know, I never, ever let my roosters fight for very long. Ever. And not only do I break it up, but these two girls will break up the roosters when they're fighting too. They are very kind of perceptually aware when they get to fighting. Boo, sit down, please. Sit down, please. Sit, yes. Boo is still a puppy. And Mina is... Anyway, the girls will break it up too. And the girls know that they're not allowed in the chicken coop, so they stay out. So we have a broody hen, and her name is Swiss Miss, and I'm in the South Run. You've seen the South Run before. And we have set up kind of a nursery area, and she was so broody she wouldn't crack. She just flat would not crack. And we would take her out of the nesting box, she'd go right back. And take her out, she'd go right back. And so finally we just broke down. And I made a little nursery area here. Has a little gate. And we do have a heat lamp out here. And that is just because out of necessity and out of we don't have any more warmers to plug in to keep her water from freezing, and we just want to add just a little bit of warmth while she's sitting on eggs. So we have her sitting on eggs in the middle of winter, which is completely unideal, not even remotely like I don't know the word I'm looking for, but there's her girl. That's Swiss Miss, and she's got eggs, and she's been a good mama so far. You're a good lady. You're a good mama. So, she's behaving like broody mamas do. And chicks won't hatch till about March 5th, sorry. And she comes out about once a day, gets a drink, gets something to eat, and goes right back to the eggs. That's how the broody mamas work. And it's just as dangerous in the summer when it's 110 outside and they get in that nesting box. And last summer we were blowing fans in here. So what I did is, it's kind of the best of both worlds. What I wanted to do is, she still needs sunshine, I think. This little hen, I don't want to put her in a dark place like the North Run, which is just covered up with blue tarps and not getting any sun. So I feel like she needs sun, she needs some cross ventilation, she obviously needs food and water, and she needs a safe place for her chicks. And so, but at the same time, she needs to be out of the blasting wind, because this is the South Run, and so what's going to happen come spring, early spring. Remember, Dixie, come early spring, then it's going to be blasting south wind, basically for no reason. It'll blow 40, 50, 60 miles an hour for no reason. So that's why I put the level of kind of a tarps and shields, at least for the lower part of the space here, to keep the worst of the wind off of her. So that's the idea behind that. I'm gonna scoot out of here through this little tiny gate, which is insanely difficult for me to do. And we'll talk a little bit more. We got some pretty serious health problems going on, and I want to talk about that just a little bit. So let's press pause for the next segment, okay? Thanks for hanging in there with me. It's almost sunset right now. The birds always want food, no matter what. And we got the meat birds in here too. We got to get them back over to the Motel 6. They don't belong in here. So what I want to talk about, I'll try not to get into too long an explanation here. Ducks know it's bedtime, it's time for a snack. I gotta go ahead and get some greens. So I'll walk a little slow as we talk. So those of you who know me, of course, our family, know that I have had kidney disease for a very long time. And they discovered it when I was a teenager, but the damage was done when I was a little kid, maybe even as like an infant, right? And what they discovered was, just like you can have a reflux of stomach acid, what was happening is I was having a reflux of urine with voiding, and so the urine was backing up into the kidneys and causing kidney damage, infections, things like that. So as an adult, I've lived with what they call CKD, chronic kidney disease, for many years. I ran marathons with kidney disease, all this stuff, but it's lately coming to a head. And I was hospitalized a few weeks ago where my kidney functions took a real big nosedive. They were able to get it back. What functions I have back, which is about 20%. I have 20% left. I'm at stage 4 kidney disease. And they were able to at least get that back. The cat got into the yard and the girls are chasing. So they got that back, and I've struggled with trying to, maintain what kidney functions I have, to preserve the 20% that I have left. That's the goal. That's getting more and more difficult, and I am also struggling with severe arthritis of some type. It may be arthritis related to what they call gout. I've had gout many times. It's related to kidney disease. It's the kidney's inability to filter out uric acid. They build up in the joints and then causes a gouty response in the form of arthritis. But more recently, over the course of the last year, I've had multiple joints and multiple attacks of arthritis. And it's starting to look less likely that this is all gout. In other words, I would have a day where I would get up in the morning and I've got multiple joints that are swelled up, and I can't bear weight, and I'm trying to walk with a cane, and so cue in the So how do we treat the arthritis? For me, and for patients like myself, there's only basically one drug left, and that's steroids. Okay, not the, hey, we're here to pump you up steroids, okay? Not those steroids. It's the steroids that your body kind of naturally makes. They're called corticosteroids. And truly, it is the last drug I have available to treat the arthritis. And again, the arthritis manifestations are very severe. So we're even questioning whether it's gout versus rheumatoid arthritis. Been many, many days on the farm, I haven't been able to do anything. A lot of projects are on hold, and when I hit the steroids and to treat the arthritis, then I have a few days where I kind of feel better and I'm functioning better, and that's the days I try to get something done. And other days I literally can't do anything. And this is very obviously very, very concerning to me, Mrs. Fowl Play, all my family, everybody at our flock. I mean, it affects everything, because I'm the one that does the the heavy structure repairs, and I'm the one that works on the modular, and I'm the one that skirts it and does the plumbing and crawls in the attic and all these things. So our girls are going to go for a walk. So the bottom line is I have a lot of doctor's appointments coming up. I don't like that, because for those of you who don't know, Mrs. Fowl Play and I are both nurses too, and I have not been able to work as a nurse. If I promise a shift, then I flare again, and then I can't get to the job, and that's affecting my work too. So we need prayer, folks. I don't even know what else to say. We need prayer. I need prayer. Mrs. Fowl Play needs prayer. We need a breakthrough. And the reason why I don't show my face so much anymore is because the steroids have really, really affected my appearance and my weight, and there are other things too. And so that's why I don't show my face too much, because it's just really changed a lot. So I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening and kind of joining our plight. So when you think of Fowl Play, think of eggs, think of chickens, think of us, and say a prayer, because we need it. So Dan, this is Dan for Fowl Play. There's Mrs. Fowl Play getting her doggy dogs out on the field to play. I said they're going to get them released. Thank you again for being there and joining our adventure here. So we'll continue the adventure the best we can. If you know the movie Galaxy Quest, I'm the kind of the crew of the Galaxy Quest movie, and the theme was never give up, never surrender, Commander. Kind of a cheeky play on Star Trek and the movie Contact, but it's kind of a cult classic. So if you know the movie Galaxy Quest, just remember, never give up, never surrender. We'll see you next time.